Good morning, children. This video is for anyone working in the Pharaoh group. Please do the Fluent in 5 starter, so pause the video and answer the questions. And here are your answers. Today, children, we are going to be looking and recognising cube numbers. Now, you've looked at squared numbers already, but cube numbers, so square numbers is when you multiply a number by itself. So we did 4 times 4 equals 16. But it might be written like that with a small 2. Now, if that small 2, that makes it, that all that means is multiply it by itself. So again, 4 times 4 equals 16. 4 squared equals 16. You may see a question that will look a bit like this, and it will have a small 3. Now this means cubed, and what cubed means is that you're going to multiply that number by not just 1 3 but by 2. Now to work this out, I would do the first multiplication first. So 3 times 3, which really simple, equals 9. Now we're going to do multiply this number by that number. So 9 times 3 equals 27. Now it can, to begin with, the numbers are quite simple. And what I would recommend you doing before you start doing your worksheet today is working out all the answers up to 12 cubed. Now obviously I'm not going to give you those answers because you're more than capable to do it. But if we do a question that is a bit trickier, so let's take 8 cubed. So we've got 8 times 8 times 8 equals, first we'll do 8 times 8. Now you can do this using your mental arithmetic. Nice and easy. 64. Now we've got to do 64 times by the other 8. Now this obviously can't be done in your head, so we need to use a written method. Now obviously with cube numbers, the idea is that you would practice this over and over again, so it becomes, so your recall is in your mental arithmetic. Because it's a bit like times tables. So 4 times 8 equals 32. 6 times 8 equals 48. Plus 3 equals 512. So 8 cubed equals 512. Now, as I said, I would get a piece of paper and work out all of them up to 12 cubed. So that's your first, so that's what a cube number is. We're now going to go to look at some of the answers. Questions that we've got to, which we're going to be answering today. So the first question says here, match the numbers to their cube numbers. Now, if we go back to my board here, which I just did use an example, we know that 8 cubed equals 512. So I'm going to go straight away and I'm going to draw a line from 8 cubed to 512. Now, once we work one of these out, if you've got your questions, if you've got your answers on your piece of paper, you can just use that. But another way you can do this is, we know if 8 cubed equals 512, 7 cubed has to be smaller. The answer has to be smaller than 8 cubed because 7 is smaller than 8. So we've got to find which answer is smaller than of the remaining two. 343, 1728. So it's very simple that 7 cubed is equal to 343, and therefore 12 cubed is equal to 1728. Very, very simple. Now we can use this question here. Use greater than, less than, or equals to complete the statements below. We're 10 cubed and 1,000. So if we just work that out, 10 times 10 equals 100. So 10 times 10 equals 100. And 100 times 10, really simple, is equal to 1,000. So 10 cubed and 1,000, that means the answer for 10 cubed is 1,000. This means it's the same, so we put equals. Now let's work out whether this is greater than, less than, or equals. So we'll use 5 cubed, just do it up here. 5 times 5 equals 25. And then we have to do 25 times 5. I'm just going to use that 25 there. So we've done one calculation. This is our second calculation. 5 times 5, 25. 2 times 5 equals 10. Plus the 2 equals 12. So this answer is 125. That means 125 is smaller than 215. So remember, when we're using these symbols, the mouth, which is like a crocodile, wants to eat the biggest number. So 215 is greater. So 215 is greater than 5 cubed. Now we've got to circle the cube numbers. Now again, if I wanted to, as I said, I could have the piece of paper on here and you could circle all the cube numbers, but I'm not going to do that because you could just use that video. I want you to work out the answers. So I'm actually going to leave this question here because I want you to work them out before I give you some of the answers. But we do know one, because we've got 512. Because we know that one, I will give you that one there. But there is at least one more on my one there, but I'm not going to work it out. I want to see if you can work out what it is later. Solve the calculations. 10 cubed plus 4 cubed. So what is 10 cubed? Well, we've already worked that out by looking up here. We said it's 1,000. So this question here, 1,000 plus 4 cubed. So we now need to work out what 4 cubed is. So 4 times 4 is 16. And 16 times 4, 6 plus 4 equals 24. 1 times 4 is 4. Add 2 is 6. So this question now, I've got to do 1,000 to take away 64. And I'll use a written method here. Now, this written method can be quite painstakingly long. So if you can work it out using mental arithmetic, great. But if you need to use a written method, you can use this method, but it does take a while. You can't do 6 take away 4, so we need to exchange. We can't exchange from there because there's no value there, no value there, so we've got to exchange from here. So we put a 0 there, and we put a 1 in front of that to make 10. We still can't do 0 take away 4, so we cross that out, turn that to a 9, and put the 1 there. Still can't do 0 take away 4, so we crossed it out, put a 9 there, and put the 1 there. Now we've got 10 take away 4 equals 6, 9 take away 6 equals 3, 9 take away nothing equals 9. And obviously 0 there. So that answer is 936. And I've just realised, children, I've made a mistake. I do apologise. It said addition. This is why it's really important to read your question carefully. And I've made a mistake here. So this actually is 1,000 plus 64. So Mr. Taylor needs to stay in at break time because he has made a mistake. So it's 1,000 plus 64, 1,064. I do apologise, children. I didn't read that carefully. 9 cubed, that's 729. Take away 5 cubed, which is 125. Now we're going to double check. Yep, we need to take away. So we do 729. Take away 125. 9 take away 5 equals 4. 2 take away 2 equals 0. 7 take away 1 equals 6. And that answer is 604. I do apologise about that mistake there, children. Make sure you do read the question better than what Mr. Taylor did. Now, you can go to your task sheet and start answering your questions. Best of luck.